everybody, and welcome to the Nauti Buoys Boat Show, where we talk everything about boats, the build, the mechanics, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We may also talk about electronics, marinas, restaurants, cruising and fishing. The topics will be endless. My name is Captain Greg Michael of Pinnacle Marine Group. I'm a marine surveyor. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been a marine surveyor for over 28 years. I'm certified through the National Association of Marine Surveyors, also known as NAMS. I hold the United States Coast Guard 100-ton Master Captain's license. Some other credentials include the American Boat and Yacht Council certifications such as ABYC Standards, Composite Boat Building, Marine Electrical, Master Technician, and Ship Systems. I am also USPAP certified. I am a Florida and New York State licensed appraiser. I belong to the Marine Industries Association of the Treasure Coast and the National Fire Protection Association. I also just received an award from the ABYC for one of the best techs of the year, so I'm very, very proud of that. My next naughty boy, who sits next to me for over 30 years, is certified marine mechanic Glenn Shadbolt. Say hi, Glenn.
Hi.
All right. Well, that was short and sweet. So on today's show, we're going to have a very special guest. His name is Brad Langdon. He's a sales consultant with MarineMax of Stuart, Florida. Does very well. And I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions for him. We will have a call-in section for the show where you can call in. The phone number is 772-773-2600. Okay, so let's get right to it. Let's talk to Brad and talk to him about MarineMax and where the company is, how it got started, and everything else. So, Brad Langdon, welcome, and say hello.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Good. So, Brad, tell us a little bit about MarineMax. So, who owns the company?
It's a publicly traded company, so it's comprised of board members, shareholders. It's been in business for a very long time. They're the number one boat retailer in the world. So we do the most volume and most revenue on any retail side of boats.
Wow. So number one retailer in the world.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you say it's publicly traded, it's on NASDAQ, Dow?
Yes, sir.
It's on the NASDAQ?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay. How's the stock doing?
It's doing like everybody else, but it's doing okay.
Up and down.
Yeah. Traditionally, it does well.
Yeah. I had an uncle once who told me the stock market is the biggest casino in the world. So
yeah,
I rarely play, but I get it. Okay, so how many employees at MarineMax?
Oh gosh, 4,000.
4,000.
There's a lot of employees at MarineMax. Yeah, we have over 100 locations.
100
numerous marinas we own, numerous vacation spots. Tortola is one of our larger vacation spots. But we have a lot of different entities, lots of things going on there.
Okay. So basically, you can find a MarineMax all over the world.
Yeah, basically from the Northeast all the way down to South Florida, now in California, Cabo, Tortola. There's a lot of places. It's one of the biggest things we offer is that we can get you help no matter where you are. So you're never outside of our reach. So
if you bought a boat in Stuart, Florida, and you go up to North Carolina and you need service, you're there.
Yeah, inland stores, coastal stores, wherever you need it, we're there.
Okay. How many brands does MarineMax carry?
That's a great question. I wish I could answer it off the top of my head, but at our store we carry 8 brands. But there's numerous locations that carry less and some that carry more.
Okay.
We own cruisers, yachts, so we kind of push that in a lot of different areas. I'd say probably 6 to 8 brands at each store.
Okay, so can you name some of the brands?
Yeah, cruisers, yachts, Sea Ray, Azimut, Galleon, Scout. Just off the top of my head, that's a few.
Okay. And so these are the brands that you're a dealer for. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. And you do all the warranty work. You do everything for these brands.
Right. Yeah. We have certified techs for all of the brands we carry, whether it be Yamaha, Mercury, whatever boat brand it is. We also offer the extended warranties, and we administer those. Ceramic coating, everything that involves the boat, we can do. Financing, insurance, the whole deal.
So here's a question I have. So you got a guy, you got a scout, say. You're going to have a tech in your facility who knows scouts.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
So if something goes wrong, there's no guessing. There's no calling scout back and forth, back and forth. You got the guy.
Right. That's the advantage. We have trained technicians on each brand, whether it be Yamaha, the boat brand, Scout, Mercury, whatever. We're able to give the customers that specific training from that technician.
Wow.
And if I bought a boat and I wanted custom rigging done, whether it was a handicap or a fishing thing, do you do custom rigging?
That's where my experience comes in. So if a customer buys a boat and 30 plus years of being in the boating business from a private captain standpoint to what I'm doing now, there's nothing a customer can ask us we can't do. We just have to understand what we need to facilitate to make it work. Handicap rigging, custom electronics, custom anything. But yeah, we do all of it.
That's great.
Yep.
So it's all in-house.
It's all in-house, yeah.
Yeah.
We do bring subs in for special projects, like we don't do welding. Obviously, it's kind of a different task, but we have a specialized welder that could come in and do like handicap ramps and stuff like that.
Right. Hard tops, things like that.
Yes, all of our stuff subletted through the manufacturer for that, but we will do, outside sourcing for hard tops, that kind of thing.
You make sure it's right. If you don't
Correct.
feel secure in doing a custom rigging, you will hire someone that'll make it right.
Correct. Yeah, someone we've vetted and we've used before.
Okay. And what makes the Stewart location different?
Different from other MarineMaxes or different from other stores?
Other stores, MarineMaxes, what sets you guys apart?
I think the biggest thing that sets us apart is we are trying to provide a one-stop shop for every customer, whether it be buying a brokerage boat, which we sell anything from 10 feet to 200 feet, buying a new boat in the lines that we carry, service aspect where we're servicing what we sell, finance aspect where we can get you with many, many different lenders, from subprime to prime lenders, however you want to do it. Many, many different aspects, but it's start to finish with us. A lot of dealers can't do that. So we try to make it as easy for a customer to just walk in the door, sign up, leave with a boat, time considering, and we handle everything for them. They don't have to do anything.
So let me get this straight. So I want to buy a Boston Whaler, say. I come in, I see you, I say, hey, Brad, I want a Boston Whaler. Okay. What size, model? You show me everything. You'll provide the resources for my finances. You'll provide insurance recommendations. You'll provide everything.
Everything.
So basically, I walk in, I buy a boat, it's done.
Yep.
Documentation, registration, everything.
We handle everything. We try to make it as easy for a customer as possible. It's not like buying a car, so you can't just walk out with it, but within a reasonable amount of time, you're going to have your boat closed. Delivery will take place. And that's another aspect. On the delivery, we don't just give the customer the boat keys and say, have fun.
Right.
We spend time with the customer. We provide them with a safety kit, full tank of fuel, and as much time and as much effort as necessary to get them trained on how to use the boat.
Right.
So every boat's different. So you're not doing, one boat is not fitting everybody.
Yeah, because today's technology, everything comes with a joystick, right?
Yeah, most.
Some older boats don't. Some newer boats don't.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take the time to go out there, show them the boat, show them how to use the boat, make sure they know how to use the joystick and all the components of the boat and all the bells and whistles.
Yes, sir. Some take more time than others, but yes, we do.
And now that's I don't want to say it's a free service, but that's a service that comes with when buying a boat from MarineMax.
Correct. Yeah, we do. Every sales consultant is supposed to do that. We try to make sure that happens. We also hire captains at different times. Being a captain myself, I kind of see both sides of that. So sometimes we hire somebody to go do that task even after we've already done it.
Right.
Some people just require more time to be familiar and comfortable to use the boat. And that's what it's all about, right? Is the experience. You don't want to just sell them a boat. You want them to enjoy it, include their families, their wives, their kids, everybody. Right. That's how you continue down the line selling more than one boat to a customer. They enjoy it for a lifetime.
Right. So they're making memories for life.
Right. Exactly.
You don't want to make memories at the dock. I always say this. You want to make memories on the water.
Yeah, making memories at the dock ends up with fiberglass repair.
And we've seen our good share of fiberglass repair. And so what I also do, I say this in the shows, I work for some insurance companies and I do damage surveys. And you can't believe some of the stuff I see.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
know,
I could.
Yes, you could.
But what is docking? Docking is controlled crashing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
really,
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
That
between
is
the
true.
fenders
Yeah.
and everything.
Funny story, I was 19 years old running in boats semi-privately. I got my license when I was 18. And I came down to Fort Lauderdale to ask a guy, pick a boat up, ask him what he needed. I was taking it up to North Carolina for him. And some old dude was sitting there on the dock drinking a beer, and he says, just remember, don't go any faster than what you want to hit something.
Oh,
I'm like, good point.
that's kind of true.
That's me. The only thing I don't hit is lotto. So
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you hit lotto, I don't think you're sharing, are you?
I'm hiring a captain.
I don't think you're going to share with us, are you? So that's good. So you talked about being a captain. Tell us a little bit about your captain experience. What were you on? What license did you start with? How'd you gradually go up? All those things.
Sure, yeah. Started with OUPV, upgraded several years later to a 200-ton master's license. Fished in Costa Rica, Panama, all the islands, basically South Florida, of course, here, all the way up to Mid-Atlantic, Ocean City, everywhere up there. Spent a lot of time on Viking boats for many years. Ran some Hatteras boats, ran some custom boats, Spencer boats, stuff like that. But we did mostly billfish tournaments, a lot of private boat stuff. I didn't do a lot of charter stuff. But it's vast. I've had my share of boat issues.
Right. So you take a guy who's got a boat. I got a 25 Parker. I want to trade it in. I want a new Boston Whaler or cruisers. And that was a caller trying to call in already, but we're not taking calls yet. So, okay. So I want to trade in my 25 Parker. I want to upgrade to a new boat. So you guys handle all that. You'll take the trade in.
Yep, we inspect the trade, we value the trade, we come to an agreement with the customer who might be trading the boat in. We try not to, give wholesale numbers on trade-ins. We try to be fair.
Right.
It's always tough because you don't want to give wholesale number for a trade-in and a retail number for the new boat. You want to be fair and equitable where you can get the customer out of the boat they're in, get them in the boat they want, and still be able to just at least break even on the trade.
Right.
But we do everything, the entire process. So.
Right. So you're not trying to make a killing on that trade.
No, we're not. No, the days of that back prior to COVID, that may have happened, with some dealers, but MarineMax is very fair in their approach to trade-ins because they want to sell a boat to a customer 10 times, not once.
Right.
And we know that if you knock a customer's head off to start with, you can't get them out of the boat.
Right.
So it's only fair. It's doing the right thing.
Right.
And that's their whole motto, just always do the right thing.
So let me ask you a question. Let's say I trade in my 25 Parker. I don't know why I'm choosing that boat, but
It's a great boat.
It's a great boat.
It's a great boat.
I think I know why you're saying that, right? Yeah.
My wife would tell you it's a great boat.
Because you have one.
Yes.
Okay. So, but I got my 25 Parker, older Parker, and I see a used boat on your lot. Can I trade that in for the used boat?
As long as it's a used boat that MarineMax owns.
Okay.
So we don't trade brokerage on brokerage because we don't own either entity. So if we trade a boat out, we have to own the boat that we're taking the other boat on trade with. But that's it. That's how that works. And everybody's the same way. We use wholesalers that will liquidate boats sometimes for customers where we don't have to technically own the boat,
Yeah.
which that works too. Because these days you got to get creative.
Right.
If a customer they think their boat's worth $200,000, it's worth $150,000. Sometimes a wholesaler will come in and give them what they want, and everybody's good.
Right.
So that's how that works.
Right. I noticed you're saying wholesalers and some other things, but that Brooklyn accent, boy, does it come through.
Brooklyn, oh man, straight North Carolina. Very, very proud to be from there.
Where are you from in North Carolina?
Born and raised in Clayton, but I actually lived in Morehead City for a very long time.
Oh, so there's boating there.
Oh yeah, Morehead, Manio, and Outer Banks everywhere.
Yeah,
That's why he likes the Parker show,
Yeah.
just like the Great South Bay.
Yeah. This literally Parker's 10 minutes from where we lived.
Right,
So,
right. So as a captain, what's the biggest boat you've captained?
Ran a 110 Hatteras for a guy for a little bit. Most of my stuff was done with sport fishing boats, 75 feet to 65 feet.
Right.
Most. Up there, you need a big boat because it's rough.
Yeah.
And you got to go a long way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
down here, we're spoiled. You go 4 miles and you're fishing.
Right. Up there, it's canyon.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
but
That's what
it's
you and I
more
have talked
than
about. Yeah. It's a long run.
Yeah. So what kind of fishing have you done from northeast all the way down?
We chased billfish mostly. I
do?
mean, we did bottom fish, but it was mostly billfish tournaments. Most of the billfish tournaments you can think of, we fished. There's a tournament up in Moorhead called the Big Rock. We fished that 22, 23 times.
Wow.
And that that's a young man's game.
Right.
And now I'm getting older. I'm not so much want to do that. I'd rather just go fish on my wonderful Parker.
So Glenn and I, originally from the Northeast, I mean, we're used to, inland fishing, fluke, flounder, blackfish, things like that, bluefish, striped bass. Down here, I throw a pole in the water, I bring something up. I have no clue what it is still.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. There's a million.
There's a million species.
It's a varied species down here for sure.
Yeah. Like I'll be on the boat and I'll literally pick something up and the guy on the other boat will say, "Don't eat that."
Yeah.
So
It's different here, right? I mean, it's a different fishery altogether. My wife and I like to go catch just anything, but obviously sailfish is a big part of this area, and we enjoy doing that. So.
Right. So again, the network is huge with MarineMax.
Yes, it is.
Let's talk a little bit about the vacation of MarineMax. So you said something about vacations. I'm sure people out there don't realize even what you're saying. What does a MarineMax vacation look like?
We own a fleet of Aquila boats down in Tortola, and so you call in, you go online, it's on our website. You can find the vacation site there. You basically can book a vacation for a week on one of the boats, whether it be crewed or uncrewed, and just take the boat and go island hop to the British Virgin Islands for a week. And it's very inexpensive because you can put 2 or 3 couples on the boat. So if you spread that over 2 or 3 couples, it's a lot of fun and a cheap vacation. And it's a wonderful vacation because you can do your own thing. It's basically get a boat, go have fun, bring the boat back. That's it.
Do you have to be a licensed captain?
No, you do not. You just have to have relevant vessel experience.
Okay.
Or they'll crew the boat for you. They will even put a cook on the boat for you, whatever you want.
And what size boats?
44, 48, and 54s.
Really? So I don't know if you're allowed to, but talk to us a little bit about what kind of vacation what would that cost? What?
Unfortunately, I don't know the retail number. I've only done the free version.
Oh, good. Give us the free version.
The free
Sign me
version. Yeah. Well, when you get invited,
Sign me up.
Yeah, but I want to think it's probably $13,000-$14,000 for a week.
So it's a fraction of some of these cruises for a family.
It's crazy a fraction. You're talking, $3-4 grand for a couple, split 3 way. I mean, that's nothing. To be able to go do that, it's a lifetime experience.
Right.
A lot of fun. We've done it.
You can go island hopping. You can do anything you want, and basically it's your boat for the week.
Snorkeling.
Snorkeling.
Yeah, and there's so many islands there. People who haven't been there, it's a great vacation time for them because everything's there. You can be in Yost Van Dyke. You can be at wherever. I mean, it's quick.
It's clean water.
Doesn't burn much fuel.
Right. So what happens, Brad, if I wreck a boat?
Yeah,
what does MarineMax do?
We have service team that will come accommodate you there. They'll send a boat out to you. They'll come get you, take care of you, whatever is required. They have towing services down there too. They're able to come get you if you actually break down, which I'd have never heard of that with the Aquilas. The Aquilas are great boats.
Yeah, I know them well. I've surveyed for MarineMax. I kind of say I'm part of the MarineMax family. Still have my vendor's number and all that. But when I was in New York, I did the Northeast trade-ins for MarineMax. I did a lot of the surveys. The Lindenhurst location, I did the Huntington location. So got a lot of friends up there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a shout-out if you guys don't mind. But my friends over in MarineMax New York, Vicky Basili, Tammy Justine, Mike Lennon, Jerry Pasella, Paul Mahoney, Brian Duncan, Kevin Graffinino, Bruce Parker, Matt Lucci, John Farnell, Craig Newman, Darren, Captain Harry, Matt Barbara, Mike Winter, Kevin Gannon.
Hey, hi, Kevin.
He liked Kevin. And most of the mechanics, the crew, and the lift guys. I had a great time for many, many years up there. So I just want to thank everybody and really let you know we really appreciate it. I know Glenn was barred from the marina for a few days because of his mouth, but we kind of worked that out, didn't we, Glenn? He's silent. Oh my God, Glenn's
I
silent.
spoke the truth. It was nothing. That's all it was.
You got to be careful with the truth sometimes.
Yeah.
That's all I speak. Like it or not.
And of course, a big part of your business is not only new boat sales, but brokerage.
Oh yeah. It's a large part here, especially in South Florida.
Okay.
You got a lot of boats. It's largest concentration of boats in the world. So you have a lot of used boats that get sold that aren't new boats.
Right.
And, that's the market. So that's what we do. Sell
Okay.
brokerage and new.
Yeah, good. And you got guys coming from everywhere for these boats.
Everywhere. We sold, believe it or not, I'll tell you a funny story. We took a Cobalt surf boat on trade a couple months ago from a great customer. And the boat was located in Colorado.
Wow.
So I had to get one of my transporters go pick the boat up in Colorado, bring it to us so we could see the trade. We got the trade inspected, did the deal, sold the customer a 38 outrage, and I sold the Cobalt to a guy in Seattle, Washington. So we had to get the boat transported from South Florida back to Seattle, Washington.
Wow.
It was crazy. That boat trailer had a ton of miles on it.
You're kidding. That's awesome.
We actually sold that Cobalt 3 times.
You did.
We sold Cobalts in West Hampton. They're nice.
Oh, yeah,
boats.
they're good boats.
It's a sweet boat.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see another one after selling it 3 times to get it going.
So the brokerage business is a big part of your business.
Yeah.
Why don't you give the people a shout out, give them your name and phone number where
Yeah.
they can reach you so that they want to sell a boat. Certainly go call you. They want to buy a boat, definitely look at you. So
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Brad Langdon. My cell number is 704-215-3599. Emails brad.langdon@marinemax.com.
all right, so we're going to take some callers here. I see the phone lines lighting up. And let me get on this phone here. So hold on. Hi, welcome to Nauti Buoys Boat Show. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, my name is Perry.
Hey, Carrie, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great. It's Perry, like Peter Perry.
Oh, Perry, how are you?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Good. So who's your question for?
Brad.
Brad from MarineMax. Okay, so go ahead, ask him.
Yeah, so I was really wondering, how does MarineMax set itself apart from all of the plethora of other boat dealerships here in Stewart and the area?
We basically provide a full service turnkey experience for each customer. You're literally coming in the door, financing with us, insuring with us, delivery with us, training with us, everything from start to finish.
Okay, so if I'm not really familiar with a center console, like a 25 or a 28, will you provide that training or teaching?
Yeah, we provide the initial training, and then what we do is if this requires additional training, we would basically either hire a captain or put someone on the boat with you to give you all the training you need until you're familiar and comfortable with the boat.
Okay, so can you tell me about like service if I have anything that happens with my new boat? What kind of warranties or whatever that you offer?
Yeah, we go over all the warranties with you from the manufacturers. We also offer extended warranties. We offer the insurance side as well, so we can provide anything you need from insurance to extended warranties and to a warranty administration. We have certified technicians that will handle all of those things for you in the case that you have something happen. So we can cover it from front to back.
Okay, so I've never bought a new boat before. They've always been brokerage used boats. So can you tell me about how MarineMax is going to help me with a new boat buy?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're going to do start to finish, provide the turnkey service from the moment you walk in the door until the moment you leave, and we provide you support afterwards as well. So even if it's 2 or 3 years down the road, we're still going to continue to support you and take care of the boat and take care of whatever you need boating related.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good deal.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
I
thank you
will
for
try to
calling.
find you. Yeah. Thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and follow Naughty Boys Boat Show. Thank you so much for the question. I see we got
Yep.
another call coming in, so thank you very much, Perry.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Hey, welcome to the Naughty Boys Boat Show. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is Ted. How are you guys doing?
Good, Ted. How are you? And who's your question for?
My question is to Brad.
Oh, another Brad. Okay.
I got two questions, but the first one is how has the current economy affected the boating industry so far?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a great question, Ted. So the economy is up and down, as we all know. Interest rates are being what they are. They're going to come down, but it definitely has affected the overall boating market. I would say that most people who are in the boat market today are a little more frugal, and we got to do a little bit better job working with the customer to meet their terms. MarineMax has a great finance side, so we're able to provide that for every customer. But it has definitely affected the boat business. If anybody tells you it's not, that's not true. But like everything, it's cyclical. It'll come back, and everybody will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, those
All right.
interest rates, boy. Yeah,
Okay,
is that what you got,
good
Ted?
there. No, I got another question.
Okay.
What are the projections you would say for 2025 based on the economy right now?
Well, I would say it's like I said, it's going to pick up. I've been doing this since '93, and I've seen back in 2008, 2010 when the proverbial things hit the fan. This is not that. It's just a downturn, and it's election year too. So as things settle down, I think we'll get right back to where we were before. MarineMax positions itself to be better than they were before they had any kind of downturn. So I think we're going to learn from this and be better overall at the end.
Good.
Okay.
All right.
Those were my only two questions. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ted.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ted. Really appreciate you calling in. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and call in anytime. We appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we gotta get these interest rates down. I mean, you can't buy a car. You can't. I mean, things are crazy. So
It's tough, right? You were conditioned so many years to low interest rates, but back, in the '90s when people were buying boats, they were paying 6, 7, 8%.
I remember 11%.
Yeah, and now people were conditioned to that lower rate. And look, the cost of money is the cost of money. No person controls that. It's controlled outside of our area. So we roll with what we roll with, and we do the best we can. That's all you can do.
Brad, do you see the COVID prices coming down?
Yes, definitely. So that affected the used boat market probably more than anything else, because what people don't think about is as the new boat prices increased, the value of the used boats also increased. Mm-hmm. So as now we've flooded the market with more inventory, the new boat prices have started to regulate some, but the used boat prices really haven't gone down.
Right.
So that delta between new and used definitely shrunk. And it's good if you own a boat, right? If you're trying to sell it, that's great. If you're trying to buy it, maybe it's going to settle out eventually, but that's what it's doing. I mean, it basically created a little bit less of a delta.
All right, good. All right, we got another call. Let's take this guy right here. Hey, welcome to Naughty Boys Boat Show. Who am I speaking with?
How you doing? It's John. How you doing?
Hey, John. Who's your question for?
I'm calling in because I've been looking at several 31 Tierra Opens and several 35 Opens.
So your question would be a surveying question?
Yeah, it's a survey question. I have a moisture meter, and I've been going around the boats even before I even make an offer. And we've been coming up with pinning the meter actually on port side actually, out of the anchor locker. I think that it's the anchor locker drain causing the problems in the port windows.
Right.
And I have an issue. I had a deposit on a boat over in Long Island, and it had extensive delamination problems.
Right.
So I'm looking. I don't know if I should even look at another brand of boats or just stick until something I could find that's nice from Tierra, because they're a gorgeous boat.
Okay. So I hear what you're saying. First of all, moisture meters, they're a great tool. Surveyors have them. They're a great tool. But I can tell you this, 28 years of using moisture meters, you get a lot of false positives. People that don't know how to use them should not have them. Surveyors that don't know how to use them shouldn't have them. But if you're finding wet and delamination on these tiaras, I'll tell you why. So certainly it's an inherent problem. Tiara makes a great boat. Don't get me wrong. The Slickers, the Slicker family made a great boat. They still do. But a lot of these boats were built before infusion and vacuum bagging, and
Right.
so you do have the moisture issues, especially under the hull vents, around through hulls, things like that. Segregation
Yes.
wasn't a big part, so you do have it. So what I would tell you is this: no, don't stay away from Tiara. Actually, look for your Tiara. Find the boat you really want. If it does have delamination issues, what you need to do is then you negotiate. So that's another reason to use a broker like Brad, right? So you use a
Right.
broker, you go, you make the deal, the surveyor comes, he finds delamination, some moisture issues. And listen, these are all Tupperware. Everything can be fixed. The boat
Right.
doesn't fail, right? So, the boat didn't take a test and failed. The boat has a problem. So as a
Right.
human, if you have a problem, we don't shoot you and put you out to pasture. We
That
fix it.
depends.
Well, it
Sometimes we
depends
do.
who you are, but we'll
If you ask my wife, sometimes.
So
No, you're right. But now this delamination problem issue was either $15,000 to $20,000.
right,
Cut open the side, expose the core,
right,
remove the rotten core if there is any.
right.
Because actually, when I went to go push on the starboard side, it was solid. When I went to go push on the other side, it was deflecting. Actually, it was a real serious issue up forward below the ankle locker.
Yeah. So that's a commonplace too about the ankle lockers. So again, the one thing I would do is if you're sure it's delamination and the surveyor is sure, that's great. If we got moisture on a moisture meter, I would take a core sample and I would actually confirm that it is wet. And if it is, the thing you have to do is you go to your broker and you go back to him and you say, listen, I love the boat. Let's pick a number. I'm paying $100,000. Well, it's going to cost $25,000 to fix it. The seller's going to have to meet you. He's going to have to come down and say, all right, $75,000, $80,000, and that boat needs to get fixed. Is the boat going to sink? No. Is the boat going to fall apart? No. But I'm not putting my family on a boat where the bow's all delaminated. So it needs to get fixed. So you have to factor in downtime. The summer's going by. Where are you located, John?
I'm in Long Island, New York.
Oh boy, Long Island boy. So
Yep.
you got 4 or 5 months of boating. That's it. So
That's it.
if you're going to buy that boat, you need to factor in downtime too. So if it's $25,000 repair, maybe the seller says, "I'm not giving you 25. I'll give you 15." Well, listen, I'm not going to have the boat for a year. So you got to kind of factor that in. But everything's
Right.
negotiable. That's why it's important to use these brokers. That's their job. That's what they do. Anytime we get involved as buyers and sellers, we kind of screw it all up. But no,
Emotional equity.
right. So I always say this. I always say take your emotions out of the equation.
Yeah, no business dealing should ever have emotions.
Right,
So,
right. So I would say no. Keep looking for your Tiara. If you find one with delamination, certainly you can still make the deal if he's willing. And if you want, John, do me a favor. Call me anytime on this number, and I will give you some advice about where else to look on the Tiaras, what's inherently their problems, and and what the good things are. There's a lot of good things about those boats.
Oh, they're great. They're a great looking boat. They're I have a 31 right now that I bought out of Nevada 14 years ago. It has a little moisture here and there, but no delam like this boat.
Yeah.
And I love the boat, but we're looking to move up into a 35 or a 38, and we've been finding a lot of moisture issues with them, like bad. And this is the only one that I found that had D-lam.
Right.
I mean, actually, you could push on the hull and push it in.
Yeah.
Like now all the balsa is down to the boot line. So and the boot line shows obvious grazing and cracks from because we get freeze up north here, and that's when it does its real damage.
Yeah, freezes and pops. I get it. So
yeah.
So what I would tell you is this. Again, that could all be fixed, right? And most of the older boats all had wood in them. So you're going to find a lot of older boats with moisture issues. It's not a reason not to buy a boat. It's a reason to renegotiate and fix a boat.
Well, that's why you get a boat surveyed. Make it come out of his wallet, not yours.
Right. Yep. So, we always say like the survey's free, and people say, how can you tell me the survey's free? I say, well, by the time I give you my report and you see all the recommendations and you negotiate, that's more than paid for my survey. Oh, yeah. So it's important to get a survey. Yeah.
Definitely have to get a good surveyor in there. I went around with a moisture meter that my friend let me borrow, and, here I am, and things pinning on one side. I mean, it's just right to the, the red line and pinning, on one side, all the way back, 3/4 the way back to that boat.
Well, be careful, because wiring harness will make a moisture pin. Fuel tanks will make a moisture meter pin. So when you see these things pinning, you got to say why and look on the other side. What's there?
Right. You got to look on the opposite side.
I'm not going to give you a lesson on moisture meters right now. That'll take hours, but certainly.
Yeah, I understand.
Certainly call in anytime and call me, and we can talk about it. And but no, don't stay away from the brand. Just do your due diligence.
Okay. Great. All right. Thanks.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Good night. Bye.
Yeah, so it's the older boats. You're going to find moisture in these things, right, Brad?
Yeah, absolutely. You have wood in these older boats. My boat has wood in it. If I put a moisture meter on it, I guarantee it show problems. Doesn't mean the boat's defective or got any major problems. If it's not structural, you don't do anything.
No.
If it's structural or safety related, you always go in there and fix it.
Right, right. And it depends how thick the fiberglass is, what it's cored with, and things like that. So there's a lot of variables. But okay, I got another caller coming in, so we're going to take this call. Hello, and welcome to the Nauti Buoys Boat Show. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Greg, this is Josh.
Hey, Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Good. Who's your question for?
Greg, question's going to be for Glenn.
Oh, no. Really? Well, Josh, you enter at your own risk.
Perfect.
I say this. Keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times.
Fair enough. And it's going to be one of Glenn's probably favorite subjects, I got a little access hatch and no room at all to work in. So that's probably one of his favorite platforms.
Boat making, you mean working upside down all day? One of those things?
Yeah, probably no stranger to that. But me, I'm stumped here.
Okay, go on.
Okay, guys. So what I have a little skiff, a little 16-foot skiff, and bought it not long ago. Took it out, and the first time I noticed I was getting a little water on the floor, and I go to flip the bilge switch, and nothing. So I get this thing, kind of limp it back to the trailer. I bring it back here to the house, trying to figure out what I have. And here's what I've got. I opened the access hatch, and I'm looking down in here, and it's pretty tight, but I have a Rule a 25 SA. I see a super switch, a Rule super switch. A lot of wiring, of course. And then up on the helm, I have 2 bilge pump switches. One was poorly marked. That was kind of, we figured that out. But it's bilge, and then the one beside it, bilge pump. And that's what I have. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because neither of these switches are working for me, and I'm not sure what to do here next.
Well, the 25S, is that not the automatic bilge pump that shuts on every now and then?
So I read the top of this bilge. The Rule 25SA it says an automatic bilge. And I think if my, the research that I've done, it is. I think it's supposed to, like you're saying, turn on every couple minutes and cycle and spit it out, but it wasn't doing that for me. Yeah.
Well, the problem with those pumps is that since they kick on every now and then, every 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, they drain the battery. So the only time I'll install a bilge pump like that is like a 17-foot Boston Whaler with the little tiny cubby hole where you can't fit a float switch. So if you want to run one of those pumps, you either need to use the boat every 3-4 days, plug it into a battery maintainer when it's home, or have a solar charger. So he probably installed a float switch and disconnected the auto part to not drain the battery, I would think.
That makes perfect sense. I'm trying to figure out why I have two switches on the helm. So you're saying I have an automatic pump that's going to cycle every 2 minutes, and the second switch, he was using that to turn off that automatic feature so it didn't drain his battery.
Could be. You would have to actually, draw all the wires, and, I would have to look at it and figure it out. But, just a standard bilge pump with a float, all in one piece,
yes.
You wouldn't have to worry about the battery being draining. But you could wire your original pump and then either keep a battery monitor or a solar, or if you're not using the boat for long periods of time, just disconnect the battery then when you're not using it, or put a bilge pump in with a float.
Glenn, if I was going to say redo this, this is it's a fairly old bilge pump, and the boat's 94. If I was going to redo this, how would you recommend the best way for me to do it on this boat? I keep it in the garage. I run it once a month. I currently have a little battery tender float switch charger on it, but I don't really want to be disconnecting batteries every trip. What do you think would be the best setup?
Well, negative to negative. The hot switch for the bilge pump, which would probably be the brown, direct to the battery with the correct fuse, because they do melt down, these bilge pumps. And then the third wire with the stripe up to the switch. And then just take everything else and throw it out.
Got it.
Seems
Perfect.
simple.
But since you kind of mentioned you don't really care for those kind of automatic bilges, what would be something that you would recommend for something like this application?
Well, the problem is, if it's a small boat, it's going to be tight. I would put a one piece in with a bilge pump.
Okay.
But personally, I prefer like a Rule 1500 with a separate float switch. The automatics that you buy, I haven't had the greatest luck with them. So still a standalone bilge pump with a separate float, and then that you mount, and then the tip is, or whatever, but when you're done installing it, always fill the bilge with water, because the pump will turn on. But the problem with a lot of automatic bilge pumps is the float isn't correct, and she'll suck air before she stops pumping water, and she'll just run and kill your battery. So
okay.
Whenever you install a bilge pump, always fill the bilge with water to make sure that it works correctly. Not just, it'll work when you lift the float or whatever you do, but you do not know for sure if the thing is actually going to work.
Sounds good. Perfect. Glenn, one more question real quick. At some point through all of this, it's been mentioned, well, then just, install a second bilge, a backup. Yeah, I've never really thought of that, but I'm sure guys do it. Necessary, unnecessary, your thoughts?
Well, it depends. If you're going to be in the shallows all day, it's not the end of the world. But as far as I'm concerned, once you leave the inlet, you need a backup pump or a sea pump, actually, in a bigger boat, something that, and a high water alarm. Because you don't want to, because you don't want to be out there, and by the time you realize that you're low in the water, now you got 1.5 feet of water in the bilge. You open up the hatch, you can't see where the water's coming in. It's too late.
Yeah,
you're lucky you get a call out before you're in the water. And hopefully you're
So,
not
yeah.
fishing for sharks at the time, because now you're in the water surrounded by sharks. And, that's
Right.
never a good thing.
Extra couple $100 now seems like a good investment to me to prevent a huge headache down the road. So
Correct.
it didn't sound like a crazy idea. So very good. Well, thanks, guys. That helps a lot. I appreciate that, and we're going to get that wired up right and tight lines.
All right. Hey, well, your name was Josh. Sorry. Hey, Josh, thanks for the call in. And please follow, subscribe, and like. Okay, buddy?
Absolutely, bud. Love the show. Thanks, guys. Appreciate what you're doing.
Thanks, man. Bye. All right. I think we're running out of time, so we're going to just move on here. Our last segment basically is the tip of the day. So I'm going to give you my tip of the day. And my tip of the day is this, what Glenn just mentioned. You got a boat, install a high water alarm. I mean, you really want to know what's going on back there.
Before the water gets too deep.
Right. Before the water gets too deep, before you see that bilge pump constantly going on, install a high water alarm. Could save lives. So, and I won't have to come out for the insurance company and start to write reports on a sunken boat or injured people. So,
Greg, I would add to that too, make it an audible and visual high water alarm.
right.
Not just audible. 'Cause
Exactly.
sometimes you don't hear it.
Right.
So,
Audible and visual. So light at the helm. So, yep. And Glenn, you got a tip for the...
I tell you, actually, I thought you were talking with Brad and everything, and being a mechanic for 50 years, and you were talking about interest rates, and it does not matter to buy the biggest boat that you can get approved for, because some of these bills get high, and these people buy a boat and they use every last penny, and then I'm the bad guy because I need this money to fix it. You don't need a big boat to have fun.
Right.
You take the
That's
fun
true.
out of it.
That's true.
You don't need this humongous yacht. All you need to do is take your family out and have fun. Right. You're not there to impress other people that your boat is a foot bigger or 2 miles an hour faster. I mean, if boating is not superficial. It is for your own personal enjoyment. That's all it's for.
Yeah, we always say utility, right? So what are you using the boat for?
Yep.
You don't you don't need a 72-foot boat
Right.
if you're going to the sandbar and having a few beers, right?
Right.
So
And think of what boat not the boat that's going to make everybody else happy. What do you want to do? Do you want to go swimming? Do you want to go fishing? Do you just want to bring broads on and have a good time? I mean, you have to pick the boat that's going to make you happy, and don't spend too much money and leave some money for me.
Hey,
That's all I'm saying.
hey, Brad, he must be old. I haven't heard that word broads.
Yeah. It's not, you're not going to hear it at my house either.
That's from the honeymooners show,
Oh, yeah.
broads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so all right, guys, I think we're kind of done for this week's episode. Brad, you got anything to add?
No, man, just get out and enjoy your boat.
Yeah, that's
If you don't
good.
have one, call us. We'll get you one.
Yeah, that sounds really good. So, okay, everybody, please hit that subscribe, follow, and like button, and please tune in every Thursday. They will be on all the mediums. The show, the Nauti Buoys Boat Show. Every week we'll have exciting guests and informative news. And may you have fair winds, following seas, and tight lines. God bless you guys.